Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. This is chapter 1 on the business letter. So let's check it out. Okay, as we know that business letter is actually known as a formal medium of a communication. That's been preferred by all the organizations in doing or dealing with the other agency or organization. With the various parties. So there is several reason or why we need to have this business letter, or we call it as a purpose of having a business letter. Okay, so I believe that all of you have an idea on the purpose why we need to write a business letter. Okay, for example, like when we want to invite the speaker, okay, to come to the organizations to give a talk, for example. So we will compose the invitation letter. Another examples like the sales and marketing letter, at which we want informing to the respective companies on the product and the services that we provide. Okay, and somehow we as an organization, especially in the servicing industry, okay, some of we might receive the complete letter from our customer or from our client pertaining to the services provided. Okay, and other than that, also like appreciation letter. Okay, for examples, okay, we invite the speaker just now, and then the speaker give a talk to your audience. Okay, and then we will provide the appreciation letter like surat penghargaan in order to give our a token to them, all right, for the cooperations that they give, all right. Other than like the order letter, if you want to order any services or products, okay, the equipments being used in the organizations, and somehow we will receive the applications of open vacancy as a company. Okay, somehow we have an open vacancy, okay, because of maybe the our staff are retired due to our staff retirement, and maybe some of the staff change job and many more, so that we need to open the vacancy. So people the respective potential apa ni, um, candidate will apply for that open vacancy. Okay, so they will provide you the letter of applications for that particular job. All right, so even the actually there are many more examples that you can have a look also, okay, in your manual. Here I will explain details about the purpose, okay, before we go for the format. All right, so we come back with the slide here. All right, you must remember that different organizations, they have a different format in writing a business letter. It's very important. Okay, so you might ask me a question, if different organization have a different format in writing a business letter, why we need to learn this subject? So basically, the reason why the student being introduced with this subject is actually, okay, to give an idea on what is actually the information that we should include in the business letter. Later on, when you work, okay, in a particular organization, you might adapt to that organization, but the basic informations for business letter is the same. All right, it's just a matter on the style, the positioning of the parts of business letter. Okay, so now let's have a look on the format in writing a business letter. Okay, first, you need to know that we have many formats in type of business letter. Okay, if you still remember, in part 1, you did learn about block style. Okay, you did learn about block style. But in a semester 2, okay, for OBM 172, you were going to be introduced with the modified block style. So when we talk about modified block style, there is a big change on the style. Okay, as you remember, previously, okay, you learn about block style. All the parts of business letter is actually on the left. But for this semester, you are going to learn about modified block style, meaning that they have a changing on the part of business letter. So I will show you examples here so that you can have a look. You can see the differences. Okay, you can get it in your manual. Okay, on page 21. Okay, as you like I mentioned just now, okay, the block style that you learn in a part one, okay, for OBM 1 to 1, all the information, all the parts, okay, parts of the business letter will start on the left. But for modified block style, okay, modified block style meaning that they have a modified a bit on the block style. Okay, what are being modified? Okay, so number one is the dates. Okay, the dates is not been put on the left as like previously in part 1 that you learned a block style. So the modified block style, the date of the letter will be slightly is actually 3 inches, okay, to the right. Right, and the other differences is actually about the complementary clause. For this part, if you still remember in in the part 1, okay, for the complementary clause is actually on the left side here, on the left side. All right, but for this subject, okay, you learn about modified block style, so it will be slightly different. Right, so the complementary clause is actually tapped 6 times from the left margin, so it actually on this side. All right, so that is the two differences. So if I ask you a question, what are the difference between block style and modified block style? The answer will be complementary clause, and also the dates of the letter is actually being positioned at the right position. Okay, so for the dates of the letter is actually the 3 inches here. Okay, meanwhile for uh the complementary clause is actually tapped 6 times from the left side. So that is about what we call the modified, what is meant by modified block style. Alright, so in Bahasa Melayu, before I forget, okay, during part 1, you learn only one language. But in part 2, you are going to produce, okay, with 2 languages. One in Bahasa Melayu, another one in English as usual. Alright, so you need to know the terms in Bahasa Melayu as well. So in English, modified block style, okay, but in Malaysia, in Malay, we call it as a gaya separa block. Maksudnya, masa part 1, you did learn about gaya block. Tetapi during part 2, okay, semester 2, you learn about gaya separa block. Like I mentioned just now, they have a 2 place, okay, at which you need to change, at which dates, okay, remember, it's been affected for the dates, and also the complementary clause. Okay, these 2 part is being positioned at the right side. Okay, so you must remember that so that you are not using you are not confusing with the previous format, okay, that you learned. All right, secondly is about paragraph. Okay, paragraph, we have 2 types. We have a block paragraph, and we do have the indented paragraph. So when we talk about paragraph itself, it's actually affected 2 parts. Okay, the types of the paragraph will affect it 2 parts. Number 1 is paragraph, definitely. Okay, and number 2 will be its subject line. Okay, so what are different between block paragraph and indented paragraph in terms of paragraph and also subject line? So let's check it out with the sample here. Okay, this is what we can say, this is block. Okay, I give you examples here. Okay, it been put here with the block paragraph. So what means by the block paragraph? Okay, block paragraph meaning that, like I mentioned previously, block style will be affected. Block style, modified block style will affected. Okay, block paragraph and indented paragraph will be affected. The paragraph and also subject line. So let's we have a look on the paragraph. Okay, the paragraph begin on the left. Okay, as you can see, the paragraph begin on the left margin. Okay, for each of the paragraph, even though goes to the second page also, it's actually at the left margin. Alright, so body of content ataupun we call it paragraph will begin on the left margin because it is a block paragraph. Okay, and the second part is being affected when you have the block paragraph is at which the subject line itself will begin on the left because it's a block paragraph, so it will begin on the left side here. Okay, how about the indented paragraph? Let's we have a look here. Indented paragraph is whereby, okay, you can see the sample in your manual. Okay, this is an indented paragraph. Okay, at which you can see here the body of content or the paragraph will be indent or tabbed once, which is equivalent to 0.5 for first line of each paragraph because it is an indented paragraph. So as you can see, okay, we will be tabbed once and then we will type the sentences or the paragraph itself. Okay, so it will begin slightly 0.5 or from the left margin so that you can use the functions of tab. Alright, okay, that is number one. And number two, okay, it will affect the subject line at which the subject line is actually at the center. So you will use the function of center in order for you to type the subject line or the titles of the letter. Alright, so now I believe that you have a clear idea on what is the paragraph. Okay, we go forward for the punctuation. Punctuation is in Bahasa we call, oh, before that, you need to know what are the terms that we use for the paragraph, block paragraph and indented paragraph in Malay. Block paragraph we call perenggan block. Okay, indented paragraph is a perenggan beransur. Okay, so hopefully you remember the terms in Bahasa Melayu and also in English. Alright, and lastly about the format is about punctuation, tanda baca. So tanda baca is being divided into two, mixed punctuation and open punctuation. Mixed punctuation in Bahasa we call bertanda baca. Meanwhile, open punctuation is called as tanpa tanda baca. So here, punctuation, okay, they have two places been affected. Number one is salutation. They have a colon. And at the complementary clause, they have a comma. Okay, they have a comma for a mixed punctuation. But for the open punctuations, they don't have any punctuation for the salutation and also the complementary clause. Now, let's check it out with a sample. For example, here, this is an open punctuation. So, open punctuation means that there is a no colon here. Okay, salutation, no colon. At salutation because it's an open punctuation. So, we just put dear madam, there is a no colon or titik bertindih. Okay, and then at yours sincerely, it is the complementary clause, we don't have a comma. But how about with the mixed punctuation? So if it is a mixed punctuation, as you can see here, yeah, we have colon at the just dear, this dear madam. So this is what we call salutation. So that we have the colon at the salutation because it is a mixed punctuation. And don't forget to put a comma here because it's a mixed punctuation. So now you see the difference between these two formats. Okay, mixed punctuation and open punctuation. All right. So basically, question will ask you whether to type in these four types of format. So you can have a look back what is meant by block paragraph, open punctuation, block paragraph with mixed punctuation, indented paragraph with open punctuations, and indented paragraph with the mixed punctuation. Okay, we have the examples in the manual. You can refer back below here. But all the letters will be modified block style. Like I mentioned previously, during part 1, you learn about block style, but during part 2, you learn about modified block style. Okay, so that is the video number 1 for the format of business letter. Hopefully you can have a picture on the differences of these four type of format business letter. So you can have a look at examples of business letter in the manual provided like I mentioned previously. Okay, stay tuned with me for the next video.